Hello, this is Biologically Speaking. We are a group of biotech undergraduates here to discuss about the current and the future scope of various biological topics. For today, we are here to discuss about food replacement pills. What if, in future we have a pill that can fit in an entire day's meal? That's an idea that some of us often wonder. So, the first things first, like how did this idea originate? Like how did this idea of food replacement pills come up?
Right. So this concept of food pill, right, as such, it dates back to about 18th century in something called as Japanese ninja diet. Now, as we all have seen in these movies and all, how ninjas are, right? They're like quick, they're all like agile, and they go to so many places, and they're like all those stunts and all. They need these quick nutrition, and they don't have much time to think about food and all. So what they used to do, they used to have products called as Kyorugan and Kikatsugan for hunger and Sukatsugan for thirst. So what these are, they are basically, kind of like rice balls. So they used to add other things like lotus, yam, or they used to put starch or buckwheat. They used to like mold these things, and they used to make a kind of a miniature rice ball, and they used to just have it before their mission, and then they used to get like instant nutrition, right? So this was the oldest dated the concept of food pill. Now around the 19th century, so the next revolution came in terms of food nutrition was in food and dietary supplements. So as we all have right nowadays, these vitamin, minerals, amino acid, fatty acid, so we get these things in terms of in the forms of pills, tablets, or capsules or liquid, right? So these are like direct nutritional supplements. So you in most of them nowadays take vitamin pills like very commonly, right? So so this is not really a food pill, but I think in terms of nutrition in a pill, you can say this was the revolution that came. So the more closer to the entire food nutrition in one place came in 2013-14, around that time, in a drink called Soylent. Now this drink had all the nutrients that's required for a human body, that is including lipids, carbohydrates, proteins, and all the vitamins and minerals. So this was all packed in one drink, and you could just take it like for breakfast or those things, so it will provide the nutrition required. Now again, this is not really a pill, so like the closest to the food pill we can say came in the early 2000s, where they introduced something called as cabbage soup capsules. Now cabbage soup is well known for its properties in slimming diets, right? So what happens is it provides all the nutrition that's required, and also it has an ability to eliminate hunger. Now any food that we consume, right, it has main two components. One is the nutrition, like it should provide the nutrition for the body, and it should be able to eliminate the hunger. Now when I'm talking about nutrition in a diet, right, I like what are the exact nutrients that our body requires? Can one of you tell me?
Yeah, so when I'm talking about nutrition, right, so we have like macronutrients and micronutrients which are required. So your macronutrients are your carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, whereas your micronutrients are your vitamins and minerals. So how do these macronutrients are made, right? Like how do you make them into a pill? So if you're talking about carbohydrates, you have things like sucrose and then fructose, which are like very plant-based, which are extracted from various plants, and then they are converted into a pill. Now coming to proteins, right? So proteins, you have a lot of sources of proteins like your fish, chicken, basically all your meat, and then you have your plant sources like your soya bean, dal, pulses, and all that. So a lot of protein is extracted from these, and then they are made into a pill. So like soya bean especially, right? It is very rich in protein. So like soya bean milk has been used nowadays to like supplement your protein needs and things like that. One other thing is your whey protein, right? So whey protein comes from milk. So this is actually converted into pills or tablets that can help in your protein supplements and things like that. Now moving on to your fats, right? So fats as such is very difficult for mimicking or to be made into a pill. So this research is actually currently going on, but some of the fats like your omega-3 fatty acids, right? So they come from cod liver oil and other fish sources. Then moving on to your micronutrients, which are your vitamins and minerals. So vitamins are coming from a lot of plant sources like your vegetables and fruits. So you have each fruit, each fruit is very rich in a certain vitamin. So it is extracted from these fruits and then packed into a pill. So another thing we can do with vitamins is get it from bacteria. So we can modify the bacteria in order to produce a certain vitamin, and then through culture and then putting it into a bioreactor, so we can extract the certain vitamin from these bacteria. Then moving on to your minerals, right? So minerals, they are basically found in ores. So a lot of minerals like iron, phosphate and all, they're already being used. So now what we are doing is we are taking this ores and then we are cutting it, or we are taking very, very small amounts like micrograms or milligrams or maybe less than that, and these are actually mixed with sodium carbonate or chalk or lime or something like that, and then they are made into pills. So this can be used to like supplement your mineral sources. So the other thing that I want to I want to know is how do you feel hunger, right? So there is hunger and feeling the feeling of fulfillment. So how does this entire thing happen?
Yeah, so now that you talked about like various sources of nutrients and how can you pack them into a small pill, the main thing that an individual looks for in food is the whether or not it satisfies the stomach. So before we see how a minuscule food replacement pill can do it, I think we have to first understand how the hunger mechanism works. So to start with, there are two key mechanisms. Okay, so one is the actual physical sensation that your stomach feels when food gets filled up or your stomach is empty, right? And that is again like captured by your nerve cells and it's sent to your brain. That's one mechanism. The other is the hormonal regulation that happens across your body. So hormones are these chemical messengers that are produced by a certain set of cells in order to alert other cells, other tissues, right, in some other part of body to do a particular function. So with regards to hunger, there are two key enzymes, ghrelin and leptin. So these are like the yin and yang of hunger and satiety sensation. So to start with hunger sensation, ghrelin is the main enzyme for it. So this is released by your stomach when your stomach is like totally empty and your body requires nutrients in order to function. So this is released by your stomach, and this activates the hunger nerve cells in your hypothalamus of your brain, which then signals that you have to eat something. And now that you find food and you're like totally satisfied, right? This is when the yang enzyme or the satiety enzyme kicks in, leptin. So this leptin is released by the fat cells that surround your abdomen, and this again goes to your hypothalamus, to the hunger nerve cell region, and they start blocking all the ghrelin receptors, so that the ghrelin and hormone doesn't bind to that cell receptor and activate hunger. So in this way, you totally feel full and all that. So now when we bring the idea of food replacement pills, right, like it's very small, and so we have to make sure that the nutrients that we try to pack in that contains high calorific density, that in the sense that it contains a lot of calories in just 1 gram. So now that we talked about both the nutrition aspect and the hunger aspect of a food pill, the food pill idea, what is the current scope of food pill? Like, what is the current scene? What is the research happening there?
Right. So I think, as you guys mentioned, right, about how nutrition and hunger comes like how they play a role in controlling the overall nutrition of a body. I would say that one of the major research was done in 2018 by Dan McGuire, who started a company called Foodpills Diet Incorporation. Now, the reason he started all this because he was declared overweight and pre-diabetic. So he tried various other diets and all, and nothing really helped reduce his weight or anything. So that's when he got this idea about turning these fresh vegetables, like for example broccoli. So he powdered them and then he turned them into pills. Now, he initially tested this on himself. He used to take 50 capsules for one meal. So about for 4 meals, you can say around 200 capsules he used to consume, giving about 1,800 calories. Now that is very close to the RDA, that is the required dietary allowance, that is 2,000 calories per day. So from what he, when he tested on himself, what he told was, the nutrition aspect is covered. You could take more capsules if you need to meet the 2000 calories as such, but if you want to reduce weight, you can take a little less. And then he also said that he was able to actually eliminate hunger. Like when he used to feel a lot hungry, he used to just pop these pills and he used to not feel hungry. And then even the things like cravings, right? We had these fast food cravings, and also whenever he had those kind of things also, he used to just take these pills and he was able to control his like whatever temptations and all. So from this, he actually lost a lot of weight from this diet. And as you all mentioned, right, like how it has to have a high calorific density and all. Since this research gave positive results, he actually tried with a lot of other compounds. Like he tried it with spinac, he tried these nuts like almonds or these hazelnut seeds and all. He made pills with a combination of all these, and the research is still going on, but he has tried many other methods, and they've seen and they've done it for other groups of like beta testing groups and all. They've tried and they've got really positive results. And this research, it's like 100% plant based. There's no GMOs involved. There's like it's gluten and lactose free, and it's sustainable and better for the planet. So if these kind of research actually keeps happening, right, so like the future really looks bright. And as we have studied in our biotechnology course as well, like how you could use bacteria and yeast in like fermentation tanks, and you can actually synthesize these proteins and fatty acids in the lab, right? So if you're able to synthesize in those kind of tanks, and then I think the concept of meal in a pill is more near than we think, because then we'll be able to manufacture all this in large scale, and people would it will be more approachable for the people. It will reach the market much sooner. So I think the future really looks bright. And when we talk about these food pills, again, now we are looking at the bright side. So all the things have like positive and negative sides, right? But I think it has more positive. I want to have a positive outlook towards these pills. What do you guys think?
Yeah, so looking at the positive output, right? So the pills, so they have a lot of applications nowadays. So in the present world, we see that there's a lot of drought and a lot of natural disasters that are taking place, like floods. And then even during the pandemic, right, like a lot of people didn't get a lot of food, and then they were stranded out without food, right? So at this point of time, I think these pills will come really in handy, where you can hand out these pills in a very hygienic way, like especially in the lockdown, and then when we had the pandemic. So this can actually reduce the need for food, and also it will be easy for people to store pills for a very long time, right? So instead of going to markets, they can just buy pills and store it for like 1 year or 2 years and still use that pills continuously. So this is one application that I was thinking was really up to my mind. Yeah,
like Abhaydeep said, right, like helping during a humanitarian crisis. So like one thing that came to my mind was during lockdown, if you guys remember, like there was mass migration happening, like especially which contain like a lot of daily wage laborers who were trying to go home, and they didn't have any means to means of transportation to actually reach their villages. So I think this food replacement pill, right, if we had this innovation at that time, we could have definitely helped people there, like because it's one thing, it's super light, and from that, I think it'll be far cheaper, like to distribute food logistically in pills rather than actual packaged foods, right? So this is what I thought, like can have a big major impact.
Yeah, coming to that, when Shankar told about being super light, right? So one more thing that came to my mind is using this in space travel, right? Like down the line when we start our space travel and then we have to go to other planets. So it'll take a long time, and to reduce the weight of the entire spaceship and the payload, right, we can just use pills instead of carrying a lot of food with us. So this might be one other application that came to my mind that is used in space travel, and maybe also when we go to like other planets, right? So sending food to other planets is going to be a very taskful job. So sending these pills can actually help in saving time and also saving a lot of payload in the entire spacecraft.
Yeah, so I even as you guys mentioned, no, like when you were talking about countries that has natural disasters, also even this one thought came to my mind. Like even the countries that face a lot of malnutrition, also, right? I think these food pills will be a very good source there. Like in certain African countries and all, they were trying to sell these spirulina biscuits, right? So like to give the nutrition that requires. Now that's a GMO product, so many may not like it, but since this is more safe and it's like it will give the equal amount of nutrition, I think there's a lot of applications there as well, right? And also it's like I feel like since we're like moving towards these kind of like a pill industry only, I'm saying like we are in general, the overall population is slowly getting dependent more on pills rather than other things, like as we mentioned, no, like how about like we are so addicted to these vitamin pills and all. So maybe in future actually we'll slowly, not immediately, but slowly start shifting towards food pills and processed foods and all. Think that will be a gradual process, I feel.
No, imagine like people addicted to food pills, like how this drug pandemic is happening, no, right now.
Being addicted to food pill might be a good thing, right? Because it's not harmful, but you're just going to have that same nutrition, right?
No, but too much of anything is not good, right?
Yeah, that is also there. Too much of anything is also not good. Plus, one more thing I feel is like people might not get addicted is because like you don't get the flavor of having good food, right? Like you don't get the flavor, you don't get the texture and all of having like normal food. So I think like the food pills might not have that addiction part of it actually.
That's again a good point actually, that you brought it up. Like we wouldn't actually feel the texture of, say, a meat product like chicken or various kinds of pizzas or pastas or whatever. So in that way, that's a long way to go for food pills. I imagine like something that in terms of like a chewing gum form, right? That you can just pop in and it gives you that texture. And finally, even and gives you that texture and the nutrition, and so you don't have to worry about anything at all.
Yeah, that makes sense actually. If it's in like form of chewing gum or something, you can just pop it and then you'll get the instant energy or something like that. Like how we eat these biscuits, not biscuits, these chocolates, Perk and all, like instant energy and all, like have it and those kind of things. This is full nutrition. I think it will be covered.
Right. We should name it like Popeyes pills or something, because
Popeye, yes, this is Popeye's pill. So just pop one and then buffed up. You're all buffed up.
Yeah, I can definitely see its relevance in military actually. Now that we're talking about buffed people, right? Like they immediately have a pill and it's lightweight and it gives them strength, right? Like on adrenaline push. So I can see like food pills being used there, at least a form of food pill.
So it's like being like a Captain America pill or something. So you have a pill and then you become a super soldier and you can like go to war and things like that.
Yeah, that's what. Like you don't need any exoskeleton or anything.
Right, or maybe the way I mentioned in that ninja diet, probably we'll all our military people will be like that agile as a ninja. I think we'll have better soldiers then, I guess.
Yeah, but I think as long as like people are developing drones, and drones are super good. I don't know. Let's see whether we can actually beat the machines, just like the Terminator Resistance.
Okay, so I just wanted to know about your own views, right? Like, what do you think the entire future of these pills are, and how the people are going to perceive these pills, right? So, starting with Mugdha, so what do you think about these aspects that I've just mentioned?
Yeah, so as we all spoke about, right? So there are certain professions that may have like a huge impact, but I think as a general public, I would not prefer it, right? Immediately at least, because I have food that I can enjoy, so I would not prefer a pill over it. So but in the future, like in case we have like our world is like ending kind of thing, or like we don't have food at all, then maybe these pills will have more impact then. But like right now, I don't think the general public will prefer it over the food that we can relish.
Right. So, Shankar, what is your opinion?
Bro, Mugdha, you don't have to be so pessimistic. What I feel is like when I think I definitely feel that our human civilization will definitely become one space age, multi-planet race, wherein like we start exporting like various minerals from different planets and asteroids and things like that. And like we talked before, right? Like I think food pills can have a major impact in that sector at least, due to its lightness and it gives the right punch or nutrients that one needs while working in like space mines and stuff like that. But beyond that, like she said, if we can develop a food pill that can maintain the texture of current foods, at least the texturized foods like meats and stuff, right? I'll definitely take it, because I don't have to worry about like things like cholesterol or other dangerous compounds, right? So now I can like bravely possibly eat like a KFC pill which tastes like KFC chicken, but it's not that unhealthy as a KFC chicken currently. So in that way, I'm definitely optimistic for food replacement.
So, as Shankar was telling a lot about space travel and how like food pills will become something of space travel and things like that, right? So this goes too much into the Star Wars effect, right? So another thing that I want to say, as my opinion, right, is that plant-based diets are still going to be there, or the physical food that we are eating, right? So that is still going to be there, whereas your pills will be just a part of another set of diet. So again, it depends on the type of people that will take these things, right? So if you're talking about the millennials who are going through a lot of fast pace of life, right? So they will need pills in general. But if you're looking at the boomers, right? So they are from a very traditional roots, and then they have a lot of time, and then so they will basically prefer to have food which is physical, and then which you'll have to put in your mouth, feel the flavors and things like that. So I think there's going to become something like a battle between the pills and the plants, right? So that's what my opinion is going to be on the food pills.
Right, like as you mentioned, a battle, right? It's like it's like a choice between like food grown from a plant and food manufactured in a plant. But again, these were like our opinions. We don't know what the future holds, so we just I guess we have to just sit and see how the research develops and what all comes to the market in the future. And this brings us to the end of the first episode. So hope you guys enjoyed listening to us. So make sure to follow us for regular updates. So thank you and goodbye.